Hello, Internet, and welcome to day 9 of my 365 journey cataloging events of the day in the most boring way, but doing it publicly and also privately. So, if you're not me from the future, this may not interest you. This is just me recording my experiences. The big news headline that currently is still dominating the airwaves, the internet airwaves, is the shooting of that woman in Minnesota. I think. MN is Minnesota, right? Wow. This is, and, conspiracies abound. You read the comments and it's like, but look who's saying, yeah. Conspiracies still abound. In weather news, today was unseasonably warm, as it was 40 degrees, 45-ish degrees on average in the middle of winter, which, again, more conspiracies. What's causing it? Who knows? End times and all. I think the big thing that I want to hang my head on today is I did my Bible reading. It was the section of in Genesis, Joseph's story, and I've been making the effort of reading it out loud, not cheating, not like just reading it in my head and then like if I get bored or whatever passing through, but like making the effort to read it out loud. And today, out of nowhere, I cried. I cried like a baby. And it was not necessarily that this story hasn't moved me before, but today it was just particularly like devastating to read this family drama. Like it was almost like the visual version, whether it's a movie or a TV show version that I saw, like the climax, the key points of. And there was the 1995 version with Sir Ben Kingsley, and that version lived rent-free, still lives rent-free. And maybe it was just sort of like visualizing it, but man, I was literally like, why am I crying? I didn't have necessarily like a bad day, like a depression related bad day, but it was, I think it might be like all the secrets that I'm not fully exposing, but maybe there's like a weight in my heart right now that I'm really, really trying to fully surrender to God and trust in Him. Maybe I know that I'm not. I know that I'm not. I know that I haven't, because I think my biggest fear in life is I've done the public confession thing. I've done the thing where I told and I swore. It's like, I think this goes back to me saying I'm an addict. It's like, oh, the last time I did this, I'm never gonna do it again. And yet, here I am. And it's almost like history is repeating itself. I'm 20 years older, and yet I'm doing some of the same things that I did 20 years ago. The only difference now is, now that I'm older and I know I should know better. And I think that's the double whammy of where the guilt is hitting me. But yeah, here's the irony. I was like, at first I was like, ooh, I have something to talk about today. This is good data, good stuff. And normally after a good cry, I feel good. I feel good. Because it's releasing of emotions that were pent up that I was aware of. But it was a release of emotions that I necessarily wasn't aware that I had pent up. And now I'm like caught off guard of it. Like I can't even blame my werewolfism anymore. Because I'm not a werewolf anymore. Well, I still will be, but I'm back to being human. Yeah. Am I a philosopher today? Am I a therapy patient today? I don't know what I am today. Crybaby? No, it wasn't. It was just like something about seeing how broken the brothers were and like redemptive, and just realizing, and it, you know, like the story of Joseph, they sold their brother to slavery, and we see most of from his side. But from their side, the side that we really don't see, we see snippets of like Judah's story and whatever, but for the most part, they've been living not only under the guilt of having sold their brother slash mentally killed their brother in their father's mind, but like Jacob has been living under the, and I cannot imagine the pain of a parent losing a child. And in this case, the brothers put their dad through this pain. Now, Jacob wasn't the best dad in the world. He clearly favored Joseph to a point, and then secondly, Benjamin to a point where it almost seemed like he hated his other sons. Why'd you have so many sons to begin with, Jacob? I know, great nations, so you did what you had to do back at that time, and had sex with women, and yeah. Not the best guy in the world. But still, it's something that I would not wish upon anyone. A parent feeling the pain of losing their child. Not being a parent, I know that that's a pain I would never want to experience even as an aunt. But like, that's awful, right? So the guilt of doing that, the brothers doing that, but then also realizing that, you know, it's like, as much as you hate your parents or your dad for not loving you, clearly favoring your brother, but then just seeing him like almost wither away to the shell of himself. Because as horrible favoritism as Jacob showed his, you know, he was still their dad, and I don't imagine him being the worst dad in the world. He had honorable qualities, which is why all these sons probably felt jealous, because they wanted that love. You don't want the love of a parent who's not a good parent to begin with. It's when he's a good parent to that one son and you're like, why don't I get that? I understand that. So I don't know. Maybe it was that. Maybe it was just my empathy kicking into overdrive and just being like, but it hit hard. In other news, I did dip into my watercolors and I made sort of a book cover art for my random idea I came up with, Hallmark movie idea of a rom-com. Yeah, I hope to see it written in 2026. It's very odd. There's some odd, really weird inspiration behind that. But God is a funny God. Like, the man, the being, the eternal, the creator, first creator, and his sense of humor. So have I decided? Today was a day in the life of a girl Friday. No, who was I assisting? I was not an extra? Am I the extra of my own life? Am I not the main character? This is a moon stress ball that I got for my nephew who left it behind. And there's that word of, you know, when you're like, have a phobia of dips and holes. It hits that a little bit where I'm like, ew. But it's a good fidgety stress ball toy. Should I just call it that? A day in the life of a moon girl. Because it makes absolutely no sense. I don't know. Today was a good day. I did some like every day. On balance. Some things I did well, some things I wish I did better. Tomorrow is gonna be a really full day. And in that regard, I hope I am finding balance and I'm finding yeah. I need to continue to declutter. I need to continue to pray. Not in a self-flagellation kind of way, but I think today made me like whatever hit, I think it just like wow, like I think it just dawned on me that whatever's been missing, whatever I've been struggling with, my soul is craving it. And I need to do something about it. Including my first like big exercise. I want a big exercise day. Anyway, time check. How long have I been chatting to myself? How long? It's pretty good. Yeah. It is time to sign off for today. Because I have a little bit of the day left to, package, print, wash up, sleep. Because I do have a big day tomorrow. Anyway, for those in the internet who have somehow made it this far and are feeling the way that I do, that, ooh, I don't know what this is, you're not alone. Have a good night. Have a great day tomorrow. The world will continue on. God bless. Good night.